Welcome back to the Victor Gonzalez Show, and today we're going to be talking about the Super Bowl champs offense, the Los Angeles Rams. With Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay being the geniuses that they are, those are the guys we'll start talking about first. Sean McVay, he had an amazing year last year, taking his team after getting Matthew Stafford in his first year, taking them all the way to Super Bowl and winning it. And now looking at his offense, he has Matthew Stafford. One of the things that concerns me with this Rams offense is Matthew Stafford's elbow injury. If you're a baseball fan, if you're someone who knows about the sport, you know how serious an elbow injury is. And when you talk about Matthew Stafford, where there have been reports of him having tendonitis in his elbow, it leads to some bad things in that baseball world that we've seen when guys are throwing a lot. And not only will that happen during the off season, but it'll happen during the regular season and into the postseason. And when you're going to go on this for months, it can create a lot of issues for that elbow, which is why John Wolford, being the backup, we saw what he did against the Seattle Seahawks a few years ago. It still does cause for some concern, and heading into this preseason, Matthew Stafford is really going to need some rest, and John's going to have to take a lot of those snaps. Now, at running back, he does have some guys to take that weight off of him, and Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson. Darrell Henderson, although, is more of a scat back or a guy who can come in and catch the ball in passing situations, and Cam Akers more of a bruiser. Then you have Kyron Williams as your third back. And then as his receivers, which are his main targets, you have Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson, Van Jefferson, his main three, Tutu Atwell, who can be a really good number 4, and they're looking at bringing in a guy like OBJ, which would make this the best receiving core in all of football, and would make them just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, as they were last year without Robert Woods. And now, instead of not having Robert Woods, they'd be replacing him with adding Allen Robinson, with already having Van Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, and then if they were able to retain OBJ, who's currently still in free agency. Then at tight end, you have Tyler Higbee, Kendall Blanton, and Bryson Hopkins. Three decent tight ends, but Tyler Higbee really being the main one. He's been really good in getting touchdowns and getting some tough yards when really needed to, but really being that red zone threat for the Rams. And looking at their O-line, you have Joe Noteboom, who's your left tackle. And then you have David Edwards at your left guard. You have Brian Allen at center. You have Bobby Evans at right guard. And then Robert Havenstein at right tackle. Now this O-line is going to replace Andrew Whitworth, who was in the Super Bowl but really didn't have to do that much last year with all of his injuries. So this offense is kind of trying to repeat themselves and bring back the guys who really did help them out throughout the year. Now with guys like Matthew Stafford and that elbow, one of the things that's going to be very important is to really include the run game and keep them from getting hit. Having a new left tackle does create some problems for that, but it can be fixed with that running game that they seem to have with Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson. Especially with Cam Akers coming off that torn ACL, him getting further away from that is just going to make him that much better. And that's why this Rams offense with Sean McVay's genius can really help them out a lot and kind of keep the pressure off of Matthew Stafford and really keep it off that elbow. Which is why the Rams are still one of the top contenders in the NFC and still one of the top contenders for the Super Bowl to repeat one more time.